Want to learn how to use pivot tables for data analysis? You've come to the right place. In this video, you'll learn how to use pivot tables to transform raw data into meaningful insights without using complex formulas. For example, suppose we own a bakery, and to help us manage our inventory, we collect data on the products we sell. On each weekday, and for every product we carry, we keep track of the quantity sold. Let's visualize the full data set in a spreadsheet. To manage our bakery's inventory efficiently, we'd like to summarize the weekly sales for each of our product lines at the end of the week. In Excel, we could summarize the sales data in many ways, but pivot tables are by far the easiest. To create a pivot table, let's first select our raw data, including the column headers. Then, we head to the toolbar, click the Insert tab, and choose the Pivot Table option. At this point, a dialog box appears on screen. In this dialog box, we are first prompted to select the data range to analyze. Because we selected our table at the start, the data range is pre-filled, so we don't need to adjust it. If we had not selected the data earlier, we could simply do it now. The dialog box also asks us to choose whether to place the pivot table in a new worksheet or in the existing worksheet. In general, the choice is yours. For this example, we'll select the existing worksheet option so we can see the raw data and the pivot table side by side. Finally, we specify where in the Excel sheet we want to place the upper left corner of the pivot table. Again, the choice is yours. For this example, we will place the pivot table in cell E2, just beside the raw data. We then click OK, and Excel creates a blank pivot table for us to work with. On the right side of the screen, we find the panel that will let us build pivot tables based on our data. The top box in the panel contains the names of the columns in the raw data: day of the week, product, and quantity. By dragging and dropping these column names in the boxes below, we can create different summary tables. The row and column boxes specify how the pivot table should display the summary. For example, to summarize the sales of our products by rows, we drag the product field into the rows box. As soon as we drop the field in the box, our pivot table is updated to include the product's names as row labels. These row labels specify how we want to group and organize our data. For instance, the croissant row label refers to the group of rows with croissant in the product field. Now that we have specified how the pivot table groups the data, we must determine what calculations to perform on each group. To manage our inventory, we are interested in calculating the sum of quantities sold over the week. To do this, we first drag the quantity field into the values box. By default, Excel sums the values for each group. But calculating the sum is not the only summary statistic available. For example, we can calculate other statistics like the average or max of daily sales. To change the default behavior, click the eye or info tooltip on the right-hand side of Sum of Quantity. A dialog box opens, and from here, we can choose one of many statistics. For example, by choosing Average, we can calculate the average daily sales per product. Or we can select the Maximum function to identify the highest number of daily sales for each product. Great, now you know how to use the rows and values boxes. Let's explore how using the column box changes the format of the pivot table. If we drag the product field from the rows box into the columns box, the summary statistic is displayed by columns instead of rows. For simple pivot tables like this one, you can use either the rows or the columns box, depending on the format you want. But we should note that we can build more complex pivot tables by using both the rows and column boxes at the same time with different fields. If you'd like to see a video on more advanced pivot tables, let us know in the comments below. Personally, I prefer my simple pivot tables organized by rows, so let's switch back to this format. Awesome! Now we can understand how to create pivot tables using the row, column, and value boxes. There's only one box left to discuss, the filter box. We can use this box to filter our data before calculating the statistics specified in the values box. For example, suppose we only want to calculate the product sales over the weekend. To exclude the weekday sales, we first drag day of the week into the filters box. This will create a drop-down at the top of our table that allows us to filter out weekdays. Excel's default is to have all days selected. To exclude weekdays, we simply uncheck all weekday boxes. Great, now we can see how much of each product was sold on the weekend. Awesome, now you understand how to build simple pivot tables to group, filter, and calculate statistics from a dataset. We're working on lots more Excel explainer videos like this one, so be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out. If you have any questions or topics that you'd like to learn about, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching!